Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into something really fundamental, persuasive communication. We're pulling lessons from this, well, massive historical study, over 1,200 actual business letters.
Right. The ones that either sealed the deal or, ended up in the trash.
Exactly. So the whole point of this deep dive is to sort of shortcut your path to mastering business letters.
Hmm.
We're distilling those findings into, 247 vital points.
That's it. And our mission, really, is to give you the principles so your letters don't just sit there. They actually command attention, stir desire, and bring orders.
That's the phrase they use.
Yeah. And the big shift, the philosophy behind it, is getting away from just like routine
That
stuff
careless routine, yeah.
and moving towards conscious creation, making it deliberate.
That really is the core, isn't it? That a good letter isn't just, ticking a box. It has to have personality, a living, breathing personality.
Oh.
And the historical angle is fascinating, realizing that a business letter is basically just you talking to someone, but, well, remotely.
It was a huge realization back then. It took letters from being this chore to being like the most indispensable factor in business.
Indispensable, wow.
Think about it. Saves travel costs, no waiting in lobbies, and you control the message completely. Exactly what you want to say, no more, no less.
Right.
The source even mentions one company that pulled in £3 million in sales just through the mail in 1 year.
3 million? Just letters.
Just letters. It proves that, in some ways, a letter could actually outperform a live salesperson.
Okay, so let's break down this blueprint, starting with, well, the first hurdle, the waste paper basket. Attention, you have to get it.
Instantly. You've got like milliseconds. If that first line doesn't hook into their problem or, what they really want,
Forget it.
yeah, forget it. Doesn't matter how good the rest is.
And sometimes the best way to get attention was just pure shock, right? Some of these examples are pretty wild.
Oh, definitely.
Like the magazine renewal that just opened with one word.
Expired.
Yeah, bam. Or even more intense, that collection agency letter. The all caps one.
You do not pay your bills promptly, sir.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, quite the opening.
But isn't that incredibly risky? I mean, you grab attention, sure, but you might just make them furious.
Absolutely. It's a huge risk. And the source is very clear on this. You better have a really compelling reason and offer following that shock to justify it.
Okay.
But it works because it aims straight for what one surgeon apparently called the most sensitive part of the body,
Which is?
the pocketbook.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Direct hit on self-interest, money, maybe status. That'll make someone read on, even if they're annoyed.
Exactly. It forces them to engage.
So, okay, you shock them into reading the next sentence, but shock wears off fast. How do you turn that into real, sustained interest?
Well, interest comes from showing them how you can help. You suggest the solution, then you immediately explain how it solves their problem.
And this needs to tap into something deeper.
Yes, human interest. Think basic drives fear, wanting status, connection, family, that sort of thing. Primitive passions, as the source calls them. Right, the fundamentals.
Yeah.
This is where those stories come in, like the electric motor guy trying to sell reliability.
And the torpedo story.
How did he even start that? He's selling switches, and he opens with...
He opens by talking about being on a battleship, the HMS Queen Adelaide, when he got hit by a torpedo.
Oh,
A torpedo with 200 pounds of high explosive.
it's dramatic.
Totally dramatic. War, explosions, sudden death. And then he pivots. He says his Ajax automatic switches worked perfectly, closed the bulkheads, saved the ship.
Wow. Using a torpedo strike to prove the reliability of an electrical switch, that takes guts.
It does. But it shows how a powerful, personal story can create interest far better than just listing technical specs.
Okay, so attention, interest.
Mm-hmm.
Now we need to build desire. That means explanation and proof.
And this is where a lot of letters apparently went wrong. Manufacturers would talk about their process, their expensive material.
Their pride, basically.
Exactly. But the reader, they don't care about that.
No, they care about what it does for them. The fountain pen example, does it leak? Is it easy to fill? Does it clog? That's the user's focus.
Precisely. So the explanation has to be all about the user's benefit.
And you need specifics, no more vague claims like best on earth.
Right. Those are useless. Use tangible stuff. Analogies. Like the tap maker who said, what was it? You could forge a razor from their tap?
Yeah. You could forge a first-class razor from one of our taps. It could have the right stuff in it. That paints a picture, makes quality feel real.
It does. And the source hammers this home. Any claim you make is basically seen as hot air, maybe even a lie.
False or exaggerated.
Right.
Yeah.
until you prove it with cold, hard logic and cold, hard facts.
So how do you weave in proof without sounding like you're just boasting?
Subtly, offering a really strong guarantee, like taking back a mattress at your own expense if the customer isn't happy.
Ah, okay. The willingness to lose money shows you're confident. That's proof itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or getting the reader to do a simple test themselves, like tearing paper samples to see the difference in the fibers.
Let them prove it to themselves. Smart.
Makes it undeniable.
Okay, desire also involves persuasion. Right. Gently nudging them towards wanting it now.
Gently is the key word. Persuasion should be subtle. Focused on the personal gain, the long-term benefit.
Like the silversmith.
Yeah, perfect example. Not just buy this silver, but this silver helps create family memories. It reflects well on you, boosts your status. It connects the product to their life aspirations.
So it's about them, not just the thing. Avoid the hard sell.
Definitely avoid aggressive pushing.
All right, let's switch gears a bit. Away from the words themselves to the mechanics, the delivery. How do you avoid that careless routine feel? Tone of voice is key.
Huge. You need that man-to-man feel. Natural. Which means ditching all that old-fashioned stuffy language.
Like esteemed favor of the 12th inst, we beg to advise. Ugh.
Exactly. Or those limp closings. Hoping to hear from you soon, we beg to remain. Just sounds weak and impersonal.
So if you need to refer to a previous letter, just say it plainly.
Yeah. You asked for our catalog on the 10th, it's on its way. Simple. Direct.
But the biggest sin, according to the source, the absolute killer mistake in most letters.
Yeah.
Too much we.
Oh, the we problem. Yes. That's the cardinal rule they identified. It's fatal.
Why fatal?
Because the writer gets lost talking about what we are doing, what we offer. But the reader, they only care about their world, their profits, their needs, their desires.
What are plans?
Not at all. The letter needs to feel like it's right there on their desk, talking directly to them.
The gas burner example really nails this, doesn't it? The bad version.
Focused on the company. We have a new patent line burner. It uses lac gas, blah, blah, blah.
Right. But the rewrite.
All about the customer. You spend 10 shillings a month more for gas than you need to. Boom.
10 shillings back then was serious money, right? Like a few days' wages.
For some, yeah. So that saving is immediate, personal, powerful. It's the pocketbook again.
So it's all you.
Pretty much.
Now, beyond the words, the source gets really specific, almost obsessive, about the physical look. The makeup of the letter. Uniformity was a big deal. Why?
2 reasons mainly. Practicality and psychology. The standard paper size, 8 by 11 inches.
Like standard U.S. letter size, roughly?
Right. It became standard because it folded neatly into the common envelope size, 3.5 by 6.5 inches, made mail sorting faster, and crucially made filing consistent and easy for businesses.
Okay, practical.
And the uniformity itself sends a message. Authority, consistency, seriousness.
So the rules went down to the details. Margins, font.
Everything. Uniform margins, usually an inch or an inch and a half, consistent spacing, even the typewriter ribbon color.
Color series.
Yeah. Purple was apparently quite popular, not because it looked nice, but because it made a strong, bold, lasting impression. It signaled care and authority.
Attention to detail matters. Okay, we've built attention, interest, desire. Now the crucial part. The clincher. Asking for the sale.
You absolutely have to ask. It's like salesmanship 101. So many sales were lost because the letter did all the hard work of convincing and then just faded out.
Procrastination, the thief of sales.
Exactly. The source mentions a bootmaker. Great letter. Convinced the guy he needed the boots, but the closing was feeble. We solicit further correspondence.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Prospect bought boots from someone else the next week. Opportunity gone.
So the climax, the clincher, has to be sharp. Summarize the benefit, kill the risk.
Minimize cost and risk, yeah. That refund guarantee helps here.
And then tell them exactly what to do and when. Make it an instruction.
Imperative. Pin 15 shillings to this letter and post it today. Clear, direct action.
And make it easy to act. The coupons and order cards.
Their power wasn't just saving writing, it was psychological. They looked easy, simple. Condensed the whole process down, cut through that hesitation.
Removes friction.
Precisely.
Okay, switching gears again. What about the really tough letters, complaints? How do you handle those using these principles? It's not about making a sale anymore.
No. Now it's about selling satisfaction. Keeping the customer happy. Keeping their business.
So the mindset is total different.
Completely. Rule number 1. Never argue. Never get defensive or annoyed, even if the complaint seems unreasonable. Assume they have a point, at least from their perspective.
So empathy first.
Always. Take their viewpoint first. Acknowledge their frustration or inconvenience. Then Gently, tactfully, lead them towards your proposed solution.
The publisher example was great here. The clerk complaining a business book was useless for his current junior role.
Right. The publisher didn't just say, tough luck, or take the book back.
No, he reframed it.
He showed the clerk how that very book was the key to getting promoted out of that limited role, how it was an investment in his future.
Brilliant. Sold the long-term value, turned a complaint into, well, motivation.
Exactly. Kept the customer, probably made him more loyal.
What about collections? That's even tougher, right? Making someone give up money they'd rather keep.
It's the reverse of a sale, yeah. Sales letters get someone to take something they want. Collection letters get them to give up something they want to hold on to cash.
So the language needs to shift.
Definitely. Often becomes shorter, clearer, more direct. Especially for final notices, it needs to be imperative.
Any tricks besides just threats?
Well, making it easy helps, like including a return envelope and just saying, pin your check to this note, reducing friction again.
Right.
And sometimes using cash-up incentives. Small discounts for paying immediately, maybe a freebie before you have to escalate to legal action, a little carrot before the stick.
Makes sense. Now, efficiency. How did businesses make sure all their letters hit this high standard day in, day out, regardless of the writer's mood?
The automatic correspondence system. Really clever for its time.
What was that? Sounds like AI, but old school.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It was basically a big scrapbook, meticulously organized, filled with hundreds of pre-written perfect paragraphs. The absolute best lines and arguments they'd ever used, all tested and proven.
Covering everything. Openings, closings, handling objections, terms.
Everything. Each paragraph got a number.
Yeah.
Like section 1 for openings, maybe paragraph 1.1 is a standard intro. Section 8 for terms, maybe 8 to 3 explains payment options.
So the person writing the letter just dictates numbers.
Exactly. Send a letter using 11, 42, 83, and 12.7. The typist just pulls those pre-written blocks and assembles the letter.
Wow. Quality control built right in.
Totally. It meant even, as the source puts it, the dullest correspondent could send out top-tier letters. Consistent quality, saved tons of time, and removed the bad mood factor.
That's genuinely smart, like building blocks for persuasion. What about testing, especially for follow-up letters when the first one didn't work?
The principle was simple. If the fish don't bite, keep changing the bait.
Makes sense. Different people respond to different things.
Right. So you develop a series of letters, each with a different angle, different appeal. Then you test them.
On a small group first.
Yes, a small but representative list, maybe 500 or 1,000 names. You send out the series and track the results carefully. Which arguments pull best? What's the best order to present them in?
And you wouldn't necessarily lead with your knockout punch.
Often not, no.
Yeah.
You might save your strongest, most compelling arguments for later in the sequence. For the people who ignore the earlier, maybe softer approaches, hit the really resistant ones with the big guns last.
Fascinating. It really drives home how deliberate and, well, scientific this all was. This deep dive really highlights that effective letters aren't accidental. They're conscious creation.
Absolutely. Putting personality, thought, and proven principles into it. Not just going through the motions. It's basically talking on paper, like we said.
But talking effectively. Sending a message that lands like a personal conversation right on their desk.
That's the goal.
You know, thinking about those incredibly detailed rules, they had the exact margins, the paper size, even the ribbon color, all designed to project authority, sincerity, control.
Yeah, the physical aspect was a huge part of the message.
But today, almost all our business communication is digital. Instant messages, emails, maybe video calls. We've lost nearly all that physical control, that deliberate presentation.
True. It's much more standardized, much faster.
So here's something to think about. In this digital age, what's the equivalent? What's the modern, maybe unwritten rule of digital presentation you need to master? What gives your email or your Slack message that same man-to-man sincerity and care that stops it from just getting deleted or ignored?
That's a really good question. Is it about perfect subject lines? Extreme brevity? The speed of your reply? What conveys that professionalism and personal touch now?
Something to consider. Maybe take a look at your own digital messages. Are you just firing them off, or are you consciously crafting them with that powerful you element in mind? Food for thought.
Definitely.
Okay, that wraps up our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.